Hello everyone, welcome to Camera Flippers. This is Vaishali from India, and today we are here not for any reaction video, but I'm here to discuss something. So, Friday passed and episode 8 of Don't Be Too Emotional aired. It was like an highly anticipated episode. We all were like waiting for it. And what are my thoughts and views about that episode? It will come on later when I finally review the series towards the end. But today I want to talk about something else. So when I watched episode 8, I liked it. And the other day when I opened social media, and even today, I saw something that I had not expected, and it was unforeseen. So I won't exactly term it like what people have been talking about, but I think those who have an idea of the discussion, especially on X and some of the Instagram posts, so you would know that what people are talking about, right? So it's about the NC scene in episode 8 and the little blunder that happened there. And regarding that, there are many people who are being very critical and very harshly critical, not towards anyone else but towards the actors. And this somewhat also grew a lot when T and Heng, both the actors, kind of confirmed that they will be a fixed ship and they will have more projects in the future together. So it increased, and people showed some really harsh critique towards them regarding that one blunder in episode 8 in that NC scene. So the entire NC scene was not a blunder, only a little part was. I won't discuss openly, name it that what was the blunder, because I want to keep the honor of the actors, but I want to discuss something else first. So there are 3 points that in which I'll discuss it. The first point is that we are living as a BL audience in an era where most or many of the actors have become very comfortable in performing NC scenes on screen. So they don't have problems with how explicit an NC scene can go, whether it's like the level of dropping of clothes or the level of performing an action, or the positions or the camera angles, how much of them is visible. There are many who are very comfortable in showing themselves completely in their skin and doing every kind of thing what is required in an NC scene. They are comfortable doing it, and if it's the requirement of the plot, which is fine, which is good. But what we need to understand is, just because some actors are comfortable does not mean that every BL actor has to be comfortable. That does not mean that it becomes compulsory for every BL actor to perform an highly explicit NC scene on screen. Every actor can have their own restrictions and reservations and choices, most importantly, that how they want to represent themselves on screen, to what level they want to go. And just because you watch some actors who do it all, and then you watch TeeHeng, who performed a very nice and elegant NC scene, which was nothing less. It was not like they showed some very good for nothing kiss and then left it on audience to understand that something happened. They actually shot a very elegant and very decent and yet a lot more explicit NC scene in episode 8 as well as in episode 6. So they shot it. Still they kept it elegant on the parts they wanted to, like having a sheet and everything, right? Just because many of the actors have started performing extremely open scenes does not make it compulsory or a norm for all the BL actors to follow that path and do it just because audience wants to watch it. They are actors, they are not the objects of our satisfaction, they are not the objects of our fantasy, of our fetishes, they are not some object to satisfy us by performing the sexual acts. They are actors. It's an entire series till now of 8 episodes in which T and Heng, and especially we have to mention that it's their first full-fledged long-length series with them as main leads. They gave us everything in the 8 episodes. There were emotions, there were turmoils, there was sadness, there was suspicion, there was suspense, thriller, anger, agitation, and most importantly the NC scene of episode 6 that had so much of emotion in it. They gave it all. And just because a minor blunder happened in one NC scene, you are completely ready to bash them and forget that what they have given in all these episodes is not really fair. We have to look at them as actors. They are actors. Performing an NC scene is not just their job. Their job is to deliver characters. Their job is to deliver emotions, which they did very well. That is the reason that you watched till episode 8, because they kept you interested. And if your interest is only limited to how the NC scenes are performed or how NC scenes are similar to a pilot trailer or not, then I think we need to really grow a little bit as an audience. Because if the NC scenes are our only concern, then I think you all can go to incognito modes of Google and there will come an entire world that will offer you all kind of NCs that you want without any kind of shame, and you won't complain. So let's give a little breather to the actors who are giving it all, and just because of a little blunder you don't need to bash them completely, that as if they have committed some crime because they didn't do the NC scene as you expected them to do. Just because some actors do it and they are not worried about how they look, that does not mean that others can't worry about how they look. Having said that, coming to my second point, it's not that T and Heng are not comfortable with each other or they don't want to perform. They have done very good NC scene in episode 6. Even the NC scene of episode 8 was actually very good, and there have been intimacy and kissing scenes between them that were wonderful, right? I think episode 2 or 3, in some of the episode, that first scene came where they spent a night together. It was a beautiful scene. Both performed really well. So there is no question about the fact that both are very comfortable with each other and there are no inhibitions. But you have to understand that just because two actors are very comfortable with each other, they are very friendly, they have no restrictions, no reservations, that does not mean that the director tells them that go lie down there and perform NC scene. That does not happen. NC scenes are choreographed. There are blockings, there are camera angles, there are multiple takes of one action from different angles. And there are intimacy coordinators, coaches, everything to make it happen without letting any one of them get uncomfortable and yet give a beautiful NC scene. That is how it happens. It's all choreographed. Yes, actors do improvise because they are, when immersed in their characters, they often go with the flow, and then when they perform and shoot, sometimes they improvise certain things, which is a lovely thing to do. And maybe even TeeHeng did that many a times, but majorly it's choreographed. So just because something not very natural got caught in the camera, you can't blame actors because they were not actually doing it. They were just shooting a choreographed piece of that particular episode. It was choreographed. It's not like they are naturally in the act. So there is no reason to blame the actors because they are not naturally in the act. They are performing. They are having many pressures on them, especially as the first time actors, first main lead series and first series altogether. They are dealing with a lot of pressures already. So maybe they didn't get an idea that there was something wrong going on the bottom side. So they were fully focused on what they had to do from here. So you can't blame them because they are not naturally in the act. They were told that how they have to perform, and they have multiple takes to do. So pressure is a lot. So we really need to understand this, that we need to give them a little benefit of doubt in this thing, that they are not trying to fool you or trying to make it a bad scene for their comfort. Sometimes it just happens that the other team is not very careful in what is happening, and that does not mean that actors are doing something wrong. Which brings me to third and last point, is that I do agree that it is a blunder, and I do agree that more attention needed to be paid, because when you are showing this, any kind of scene, not just NC but any kind of scene, but here if we talk about NC scenes, if you are actually showing it with different shot, with different angles, then you need to be very careful about how you are showing it. We should not go against how it naturally happens, right? Otherwise obviously it will look funny. So we need to understand that it is not actors' fault per se. It is actually firstly a directorial blunder, and then it's an editorial blunder. Now, how we all know how it's a directorial blunder, right? If a director is there, if director is telling that you have to do this, now you have to lie down, then you will lie down on top on it, then this happens, then this happens, then director should have had this in mind, that here he needs to improve because something is going wrong here, something looks odd, right? So it was director's responsibility to make it correct first. Now let's say even director, for the sake of being human, even the director blundered a little and he didn't pay attention that much, although he should have, but he didn't. So let's say director didn't come, and then comes the editor. Editor, I feel that editor is like one of the most important teammates who can either give you something really bad or can make something really absolutely commendable for you, the way he or she edits, right? Here I think the editorial blunder will come at the topmost for me, because you are watching it, okay, you are watching scene frame by frame, and then you decide that what shots are looking good, what shot you need to keep, what shot needs to be deleted. So I think here it was the editor's job to know that the thing which people are talking about now is actually wrong, right? That is not how it happens in real life. So if he shows it, then it will be the talk of the town. So like, he should have cut it. Also, I would like to mention that I feel that the shot below the waist was actually not required, because I will mention here 3 or 4 shots that were beautiful and I loved those shots. First is this, the topmost shot, right, where Big Jane's back is visible and Little Jane's hands are visible. First I want to say, and I think I have mentioned in one of the videos that I will upload later, I am in love with how the lighting has been used in this series. Many scenes are there where they have used beautiful lightings which enhances the scene. Here I loved the spotlight kind of thing, and their skins were just shining, their bodies were looking beautiful. So this top shot was actually very beautiful. It was looking really good. Then the other shot came from the side. So what I loved about this one was it was shot up to waist, and then their cores were completely pasted together, like they were completely, the bodies were completely attached up to the chest. They were looking at each other, which absolutely looked beautiful, along with sound effects that were happening. And then I liked this, the close-up shot. So Big Jane's face is quite visible from the close, and I think these 3-4 shots were actually very beautiful if we combine it all together. See, we just can't focus on one thing, that whether a hand is visible or not, how our legs, how a face is visible or not. We have to see the scene as a whole. Here it's not just about them having, it's about them being emotional and expressing that finally we have come together after 5 years, after dealing with so much, after feeling guilty, after feeling sadness of leaving each other, because they didn't end up their relationship on a happy note. There was a lot of things, and then they met after 5 years, and then this room revelation happened, right? The big Jane's room that was completely full of little Jane. So this was all the pent up emotion. Firstly, the very beautiful thing that happened was that the way they proceeded from kiss to the NC scene altogether, they didn't break the continuity by showing the NC in some other room or some other place. It was right there on the floor, and I loved that because it didn't break the emotion. So firstly, that decision was absolutely good, that they showed them on the floor. And then on the floor also, you have to look the clothes that have been lying down. On the back side, you'll see little Jane's pictures are there. Then you, on the back of the mind, you know that his sculpture is also there. All this together makes up a scene. So keeping all that in mind, the scene was actually very beautiful. It turned out very beautiful, and there was just that minor blunder that happened, which I again say, I will say that if there is one person that I will completely say should have actually taken care of it, is the editor, because the final cut goes to you, the final rushes are shown to you. So you must be enough careful and mindful that how it happens and how this should not be kept. And I honestly feel that even if that entire top shot was not taken and it would have only be taken up to certain level of their thighs, it would have been okay. It would have looked beautiful, because otherwise also the entire scene was looking absolutely beautiful. So what I want to say is that these are not the topics that should be used to bash actors. Firstly, actors should not be bashed. Secondly, if you want to be critical about something, there is a way to show your criticism. To completely ridicule them, to write absolutely harsh and nasty comments about them as if they have committed some kind of crime by not doing the NC scene exactly like you wanted them to do, is like the most worst thing you can do to an artist, because they are trying to actually give you a story. They are trying to give you an experience of two characters and their whole journey, how they fell in love, how they got separated, how they are meeting again, how they are so different, how their life is so different, how they are coping up with each other's contradictions, how they are confronting each other. There is so much in this series, and you can have your criticisms about how the direction is probably not good for you, how the acting is probably not that up to the mark for you. I also have my criticisms regarding episode 8, not about the NC but about some other thing. But there is always a way about how you present your criticism, and also towards whom it is directed. For this particular reason, the NC scene blunder that people are talking about, I completely refuse the criticism to be directed towards the actors. They are actors, they are already very nervous, they are already very pressured, and they do things that are told to them by the team. So here I would say that the criticism should be directed towards the director and editors, and that should also be done in a decent way, and should not be done in a way as if you can just cancel the entire team just because the NC had a minor mistake. A 5 minute, 6 minute NC scene should not define an entire series for you, should not define the fate of the entire series for you, should not define the fate of the actors for you. It's just a 5 minute NC scene. To be honest, I'm also a writer, and I feel that NC scenes or intimacy is an important part of any love story. If you're showing, even I write them, I love writing NC scenes, and I feel it's important. But I don't feel that only it is important. The entire story, how everything is coming up, is also important. I cannot cancel a director, an actor, or bash them, or be rude to them, or write absolutely harshest critical comments under their posts just for the fact that there was a 1 second mistake in some 3 minutes of NC scene. That is like stupid. And if you are watching an entire story where there are so many things, but your mind is constantly focused and thinking only about the NC scenes and not just about the blunder, you also feel that okay, NC scene could have been better, it could have been much more, it didn't stand up to what was shown in the pilot trailer, then I think as an audience your mindset is very limited. Because when you watch a pilot, is that the only thing you are looking for in the series? That NC scenes, like how will be the NCs? Are you not looking for the stories? So it's good to have interest in NC scenes, and it's good to also ask for good NC scenes. You know, when an NC scene is performed really well, it looks good. But a good NC scene does not necessarily means that it has to be extreme, does not mean that it has to be extremely explicit for every actor, does not mean that they have to step by step show each and everything that actually happens when people do it in real life. They don't need to meet up to your expectations while they perform, especially while they perform an NC scene, because it's not just any normal scene. It's a big thing for actors. They have to let go of a lot of shyness, a lot of things. They have to build up a lot of confidence to be able to perform that with each other. So at most we should respect their choices and their comfort level first. Secondly, if they are comfortable and everything, they have no issues, and yet some minor mistake happens, it's okay, we can let go of that, we can joke about it, there is no problem in it, we can joke about it. I actually thought, when I noticed that there was a little mistake, I thought that internet would be laughing about it, like just joking normally. And when you make it fun, it also becomes fun for the actors, and they feel relaxed that okay, our audience is not angry from us for this little mistake, and we'll improve it, you know, in our next series we'll be more careful. That is the positive feedback and the positive criticism that you give, which is very light and funny, and yet you register your criticism that, you know, let's be careful next time. But to completely bash them and to write very bad things or rude things under their comment section just for the fact that NC scene was not up to your taste, and then you say it is the fakest thing to do, and they are just, why do they even work in BLs when they have to be like this and whatnot. I mean, you don't have to feel so much offended just because there was a minor mistake in some NC scenes. It's a lot more. People are working and offering you a story, a whole lot of a story, without any kind of inhibitions or reservations. They are doing it and they love doing it. And both T and Heng are lovely behind the scenes. If you watch them, I have been watching them. I have just been introduced with them, and I watch their events or their behind the scenes, and both are such lovely actors, and they are so good to each other, and they are so happy that people are loving them, and they are also looking forward for their next projects. They finally confirmed themselves to be a fixed couple, on-screen couple, and it's a lovely thing. So they are looking forward positively to working in this industry and receive your love. So how about we just become a little more lenient towards the actors and They are new actors, so let's give them opportunity rather than canceling them out altogether just because you could not handle a minor mistake. So that is why I made this video. I really wanted to talk about it. And also I will soon upload my reaction on episode 8, maybe by tomorrow. So episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these many episodes are left to be uploaded by my side, which I will rewatch. That won't be a reaction video but a rewatch video, which I'll do later. But the reaction video of episode 8, that I will upload by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And if you want to watch my reaction video, please do. And please let me know in the comments what are your thoughts about all this scenario happening, and what is your take on it. Is it a big blunder, big enough to cancel out the actors or bash the actors, or would you like them to have one more chance and not be treated so badly by some people? Please let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.